Sometimes you just want to be lazy. One pot cooking, pork casserole. Chuck all of the ingredients in at the start and just leave it.
So this pork casserole balances the smoky flavours of smoked paprika with the sweetness of the peppers. So, to start with, we've got diced pork shoulder. Now this goes into our bowl with a couple of tablespoons of flour. The flour helps to thicken the sauce later on and helps give it a slightly crispy coating as we bake it or fry it. So, a little bit of black pepper. And if you can grab a spoon and just mix all that up, some salt as well. So what you're doing is coating all the pork, so you're taking away all the sort of extra moisture. But now all of our pork, beautifully done, just goes into our pan. A little shot of oil already in there, and that's just going to help colour it off.
Okay, and we're using pork shoulder here.
It's slightly cheaper, it's quite fatty, but it's perfect what we want for this slow cook. In the meantime, Jamie, you're going to do some peppers. So 2 peppers, 1 red, 1 yellow. We just need those sliced. In fact, do all of them for now, but we're going to save one for later. So we'll cut them all now, but we'll only put in one later on. So all of them sliced, okay? And I'll do the onions this side. So all of our onions can go into the pork as well, and 1 red and 1 yellow pepper as well. Yep. And this is all about piling it in now.
Lovely colours.
And sweetness is going to come from those peppers, but to counterbalance that sweetness, we have our smoky paprika. So, have a smell of that?
Ooh, wow.
The really smoky, almost bonfire-y flavour. That's going to go in there, a teaspoon of that, 1 tin of chopped tomatoes, and then about the same of chicken stock. Okay, so in our case, we're just going to take water, so 3/4 of the way up the tin, and add that with the chicken stock cube. So Jay, if you can just crumble that in there. Beautiful. Now, for fear of tipping it all out the pan, you want to give it a good stir up, because at this point, you've got everything in there you need for the whole dish to cook down. So there we go, all combined. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom, and then Jay, if you can put the lid on.
Can do indeed.
So the lid goes on, and bring it up to the boil, let it simmer for 2 hours, very, very gently, stirring occasionally, and then we can come back and show you what's best to serve it with.
Ben, it's been 2 hours, can we eat it yet?
2 hours is gone, and we're so close to eating it. Look at that. So this whole thing is reduced down, so the sweetness come out of that pepper. And at this point,
really good.
We can add some of our fresh peppers that we didn't put in before, just for those last few minutes. You've got a little bit of crunch in there as well.
They were really well chopped.
They were beautifully chopped, Jamie. So that will carry on bubbling away, and we can make a side to go with it, which is going to be a lime and coriander couscous. Okay, so all we need to do is grab a container of couscous, and then we add exactly the same of boiling water. So up to the same volume. So it's not a weight, it's a volume. And if you can just give that a quick kind of swirl round, we're going to take a lime, and we're going to squeeze that in, Jamie.
Okay.
Some fresh coriander, which just needs a quick chop, and some salt and pepper if you can put in there as well.
Can do indeed.
So coriander goes in there as well, and we give that a good stir. That couscous needs a couple more minutes just to take on the fluffiness that we want. It's got a little bit more water to absorb. Meanwhile, we can just plate up our casserole. So take our lid off, get plenty of that pork juices. Look at that, it's really melted down, and that's that pork shoulder.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful succulent now.
Nice and tender.
Some crunch from the peppers, some that have almost dissolved because they've been cooking for so long.
Look at that.
To finish it off, we're going to put a little bit of sour cream over it as well. So just little dollops of sour cream on the top, in there like that. And Jamie, if you want to throw our couscous into our other bowl,
Can do indeed.
the whole thing comes together. And there we go, with very little effort, but a little bit of time, we have our smoky pork casserole with lime and coriander couscous sorted.
That's so tender.
And all that couscous to soak up the juices. Smoky and sweet.
That is lovely.
And the couscous, very, very simple. But with all that, you don't want anything that's going to detract from the sweetness of the pork.
5 out of 5. Yeah, big fan of this.